or only legume, should I say, that persisted beyond the second year in salt and waterlogging sites, such as well, we did this work at Duranillan, so we're talking about the Duranillan darkened sort of area, high rainfall valley floors which are waterlogged for extended periods, and it's where barley grass typically is the only thing that's growing there. So it's a species that performed in a very promising way there, and it's led us to investigate it in more detail. Okay, well, it's got a range of mechanisms. One is we focused on both its mechanisms as a germinating seedling, because that's very important for an annual plant, because they have to germinate every year, and they're trying to do this at the time when salinity levels are quite often at or near their highest and the surface. It's got a range of mechanisms there. It's more salt tolerant as a seedling or germinating than the other legumes we've looked at. It's also got mechanisms that tend to defer its germination until a little bit later in the season, because what tends to happen sometimes is you get the opening rains are enough to germinate seedlings, but not enough to flush the salt from the surface. By delaying germination a little bit later into late autumn, winter, by then you've got much more chance that rains will have flushed more of the salinity out of the surface, so it's a better environment for germination. So the Melilotus has this ability to defer its germination. It's also it's quite hard seeded, which means it's not putting all its eggs in the one basket so all seeds germinate the following year. It defers germination for subsequent years as well. It's sort of an insurance against poor germination conditions or poor seed setting conditions as well. So it's got a range of strategies that many other legumes, or it's got a combination of strategies that the other legumes don't seem to have. Look, we really don't know all the answers, or we don't know much about its potential for animal production. We do know that it doesn't contain a chemical compound called coumarin, which some of the other Melilotus species do contain. And this is a problem. This compound in some of the other species can cause tainting in meat and milk produce if it's eaten by animals. And also, if hay is made from plants with high coumarin levels and it goes mouldy, the fungal activity induces a breakdown of the coumarin into compounds that can cause internal hemorrhaging in the animals. Now, some of the other Melilotus species have this. The Melilotus siculus doesn't have this compound. So before we release it, we will need to do some animal feeding trials to ensure that it is a good feed for animals. At this stage, we've got no reason to suggest that it won't be. Okay, well, I think it's going to have its greatest role in the medium and higher rainfall areas. It is a water-loving plant. It likes water. In fact, it grows better under waterlogged. Well, it grows as well under waterlogged conditions as it does well-drained soil. So, I think it's probably going to have its greatest role in as a complement to puxnetta and tall wheatgrass pastures. And the thing is, what's lacking in that system is a suitable legume to put nitrogen into the system to help sustain them and maintain productivity. So I think it will fit into that system. It may well have a role in saltbush-based pastures. We just haven't really had an opportunity really to see how far we can extend it into low rainfall areas. Although admittedly there are some saltbush pastures in the medium and high rainfall areas as well, where it will complement those as well.